Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you are having a great week. The internet has been off and on at school on today's Wednesday. So just so you know, if your teachers weren't able to get on, it is because that our internet has literally was off pretty much all morning. Or it worked spotty and then it went off. So today we're going to be reviewing for your tests. So I know I said in one of my videos I would put the weekly practice as a review. This week I got caught up in a lot of stuff, so I didn't have time to do that. This will be your review. If you can do the problems on this review, you will be fine. And I will also be going over all the questions, all of these problems on your actual review practice during the Google Meet. So let's go ahead and get started. So this first one, you notice, is on a graph paper, and your test is also going to be on graph paper with the shapes. Okay, if you just count, that's going to be a lower grade than if you use a formula. So the more formulas you use, that means you're being more sophisticated, you're using your math skills versus counting, because counting is like a elementary level understanding of area. Okay, so for this one, we are looking at area equals our length times our width, because it is a rectangle, or you can think of it also as a parallelogram, because all rectangles are parallelograms. So we have also area equals base times height. So we can look at this as, okay, here is our length, and then we also have our width, and we just need to count those. So if I count my length as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have 6. And then my width would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that counted way late, so I'm not going to use that again. So 9, so I'm going to put a 9 down here. So then for my area, I'm going to do 6 times 9, which equals 54, and we're just going to put units squared. Okay, one thing I do want to point out that I saw I've just graded most. I'm almost done with the surface area practice. Most of you did really great. Some of you forgot to divide your triangles by 2, and then some of you went even too far and divided your rectangles by 2. Notice in the formula here that we aren't dividing by 2 for area of rectangles, parallelograms, any quadrilateral. You're not dividing by 2. Okay, let's look at another example. So let's go to slide 3. Okay, here, I'll take my glasses off so you can stop seeing the glare from my screen. Okay, so for this one, we have a triangle. So remember, your slanted side cannot be your base or your height. You have to use straight sides, and sometimes you're going to have to create the height if it's not there. This one is a right triangle, so it gives you your base and height. So you can look for those and highlight them. So like you have your base and you also have your height here. You can always like rotate your computer if you need to. Maybe rotate the picture. So remember the area formula for a triangle. If you do not have this memorized, please get this memorized. It is area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay, and sometimes you will see it as area equals a half times the base times the height, which means the same thing as area equals a base times 2. So we have to count our base. So I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are not counting the squares. So what I'm counting, because some people are like, well, this isn't a whole square. You're not counting the squares. You are counting the line. So this is 1 space, 2 space, 3. So it's kind of like the space in between the lines. Okay, so then I need my height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then for my area, I'm going to do, whoops, I almost wrote 8 times 6 divided by 2. Area equals 48 divided by 2. And I will tell you on your test, the more work you show me, the more points I can give you. And that will be 24 units squared. And yes, some of your test questions are that easy. It's finding the area of a triangle. Super easy, because we've been working on this for a while, okay? Sometimes our triangles aren't as easy to see the base and the height, like on this one. There's not two straight. We can find our straight, and that's whatever straight you find, that's going to be your base for sure. And then your height's going to have to be something you create. So that is the only straight line that I can see. The others are slanted. So we are going to use that for our base. So we have, sorry, I'm trying to change pens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this has a base of 10. Okay, so your height, remember the definition of height is from the base to the highest point. So use your base to find your height. So here's my base, here's my tallest point. So that base to that height is going to be right there. Okay, I'm not splitting the triangle when I'm doing this. I am calculating the height because what I'm seeing some people do is using that height and then finding the area of 2 triangles versus just finding the area of 1. So that height would be, and let me switch back to my marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you kind of have to think, like, if I get my thing and I turn it, well, it turned with me, but I have to imagine, like, if I turned it sitting up, that would be my highest point. So then we're going to come over here and we're going to use our formula. The more you write this formula, the more you will have it memorized. So we have 9 times 10 divided by 2. So that is 90 divided by 2, which we know is 45 units squared. Okay, so that's how you would find the area of that. Okay, this next one is in a regular shape, so I'm going to move our little thing out of the way. So the first thing, when you have a shape that's irregular, you've got to break it into shapes that you do know. So that's the first step I'm going to take is I am going to go and break the shape into shapes I know. Well, I see this triangle. There's a big triangle here at the top. Okay, there is a triangle here and a triangle here. Okay, and so then I have 3 triangles and a rectangle. So I'm going to find, the nice thing about these triangles is that they're all right triangles, so the base and height are going to be super easy to find. Okay, so I'm going to do my first triangle. So my base would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my base is 7 times my height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, so 7 times 7, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So my area for that is 49 divided by 2, which would equal, let's see, sorry, my brain is like 29 and a half. Okay, so I have 29 and a half units squared for the top triangle. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my rectangle. I'm going to switch colors so we can count it different. Length and width, 1, 2, or 3, sorry. 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to give me 21 units squared, because for that, you just have to do length times width. No dividing by 2 because it's a rectangle. So I just did this. That's what the red is standing for. Okay, and this was my turquoise right here, was that area. Okay, so now we're going to come down here at the bottom and I'm going to do my triangles. So this triangle right here, my little one, is a 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. So the area for that is going to be 3 times 3 divided by 2. So that's 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here to my last one. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That just happened to happen. I didn't mean for that to happen. So 4 times 4 divided by 2. So that's 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Do not forget, at the very last thing is you have to total all of that. So we have this, we have 29 and a half, 21, 4.5, and 8. So if I add those together, this 29 and 21 is going to make 50. This half right here is going to make 51 plus that 4. And you can use a calculator. I'm just going to do my head. It's 55 plus the 8 is 63. So 63 units squared. Okay, So that is the ear. So something that is on your test is that you are going to have to create a polygon. So a polygon is any shape that is a closed shape that does not have curves. So like a circle is not a polygon. Okay, so when we're asking you to create a polygon, it can be a triangle, a rectangle, a parallelogram. It can be an odd shape if you want it to be, as long as it has an area of 16 units squared. So if you wanted to do a rectangle, you can do a rectangle. If you want to do a triangle, do a triangle. Okay, for this one, I'll do a rectangle. So, whoops. So I'm going to do, whoops, I don't mean to be moving it. I'm trying to write. Let me try this again. So maybe for a 16, I know that it's base times height or length times width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do a 2 by 8. And I always suggest, even on your test, double check by working it out. So I would come over here, 2 times 8. Yes, that equals 16. So check. I did what it asked me to do. Okay, I could also, and there's more than one. I could have done a 4 by 4. You could have done a square. It's really delayed right now. So 4 times 4, that equals 16. Check. Okay, so that's one thing you're going to have to do on your test is to create a polygon. If you have to create a triangle, that's the last one we're going to look at. For creating triangles, you have to remember that you divide by 2 in triangles, because that's going to totally change how you solve it. Because some of you on the concept check, you didn't get it correct because you forgot, oh, I've got to divide by 2. So let's say I did 10 square units, and I did a triangle, and I did a 2 by 5 triangle, like this, okay? So then I go and use my formula, 2 times 5 divided by 2, okay? So 10 divided by 2, that equals 5. So does this triangle actually have an area of 10? No, it doesn't. It has an area of 5. So we kind of have to think about that. What could I do to double that? Well, you could double one of your sides. So I could say instead, let me change colors to do a, what if I did a 4 by 5? Okay, so a 4 by 5, whoops, don't, stop moving. I moved it off its lines, there we go. Okay, a 4 by 5, I would do 4 times 5 divided by 2. It does not like the dots. So that's 20 divided by 2, which makes 10. So yes, that one does work. So this triangle would be a 10 units squared. So this one does not work where this one does. So you kind of have to look at it as, okay, if it's a triangle and this is 10, I need to double that to get to figure out what I need to multiply. So, okay, so you are going to complete this area review slides. It looks exactly like what I just went through. Oh, it's slow. Hopefully the internet. So you have 1 rectangle, 2 triangles, an irregular shape, another irregular shape, and then you have 2 where you have to draw. Remember on the ones where you have to draw, you have your lines right here. Just match them up on the things. They should draw pretty well. And if you want them darker, remember, just click on them and just go over here to this, and that'll make them darker for you. Okay, if you have any questions, please join the Google Meet. I will be going over all of these slides during the Google Meet. Have a great day. Bye.